U.S. veteran Dane Partridge has become the fifth known American to be killed while volunteering in Ukraine. Partridge died earlier this week from injuries that he sustained after he and others were ambushed by two Russian vehicles while they were clearing trenches. The father of five suffered a broken neck and wounds to his brain from shrapnel. He was in a coma for 8 days and then he passed away in a Zaporizhia hospital on Tuesday while he was still on life support. Partridge had been fighting alongside Ukrainians since April. And joining us now is Dane's sister, Jenny Corey. Jenny, I am so sorry for your loss and for the loss of your family. How are you doing, and how are you reflecting on what your brother was doing at the time that he died?
We're doing okay. Obviously, we're devastated at this news, um, but we believe and know that he paid the ultimate sacrifice. And we had many conversations about how he just felt like he needed to serve and be there for his fellow men. And so that's how we're going to go on, honoring his name and telling his story.
And remembering him through his stories and for his children as well. I know he bought a one-way ticket to Poland. He did something that actually many service members do before going into service, which is he prepared. He drafted his will. Did you have tough
Yes,
conversations before he left about the possibility of what could happen?
we talked about it. It's interesting because part of our conversation was, in his earlier years, he had, right out of high school, he had joined the army and he did go over and he fought for Operation Iraqi Freedom. And he said it's different this time. When I went to Iraq, I was scared. This time, I have such a strong conviction. And I know with every bone in my body that this is right. And I'm not scared. And I know very likely that I'm not going to come back.
He thought that. He thought he might not come back, but he thought it was worth it. Can you tell me more about why he thought it was worth it, considering he had so much at home to live for?
He um, saw a noble cause, and he wanted to go fight for it. And he's the kind of faith-based man that when he gets a piercing in his heart, and he knows that he believes it with every bone in his body, he can't deny that. And he wanted to honor his God and the conviction that he got to go fight.
Can you tell us a little bit about him, Jenny? I mean, you've already told us about his convictions, and obviously we know about his willingness to sacrifice for those convictions. Can you tell us a little more about him?
Yes, he was the kind of guy that, um, he would help anybody, but he also liked being the life of a party. He was tall, um, had kind of a loud, booming voice, and you knew he was in the room. And he loved to make people laugh. He loved to be witty. If you were sad, he wanted to cheer you up. He didn't talk much about himself when he was over there because he didn't want us to worry. He just wanted to connect with us at home and keep things um, as happy as he could so that we weren't worrying so much for him. But he was one to, when he saw a need, he was going to reach out and he was going to take care of somebody, whether they needed help, whether they were sad, whether they needed cheering up. He just wanted to be that person to lift people up.
Jenny, he sounds like he was an amazing person. And I'm so sorry for what you are going through and for what your family is going through. And I thank you for sharing a little bit about him with us this morning. Jenny Corey, thank you.